Behind every work of art lies a story, even if the artist had no intention of telling one. I made this painting in my senior year of high school. It had to tell a story because it was worth 50 great points. If it did not, I would have, if it didn't have to tell a story, I would have painted a pastoral scene, as landscapes are my favorite subjects to illustrate. The story of the painting describes the way that I see myself in the world. The subject at the left symbolizes myself, along with every other autistic individual who does not wish to be cured, but rather understood and accepted in society. The background symbolizes society. The subject is a solitary soldier, while the background is a war-torn city burning at night. The reason why I chose a soldier to be the subject is because there are enough autistic self-advocates, such as myself, to form a large army. Even moderate and severe autistics, such as Dr. Temple Grandin and Silent Meow, do not wish to be cured. They can communicate verbally and non-verbally if they find the right medium. My perfect medium would be writing, which is why I wrote the script. Dr. Temple Grandin once said that she would not press a button if it will make her neurotypical. The soldier is solitary because the number of autistic self-advocates in the world might as well be one, because the voice of autistic individuals is hardly ever heard by the mainstream media. You always hear from parents who see their autistic children as mistakes that must be fixed. These parents tend to take advice from people who exploit autistic individuals for mutual gain, such as J.B. Handley, Jenny McCarthy, and the average health fraud. The reason why I chose the background to be a war-torn city is because both the mainstream medical community and unethical autism cure organizations, such as Generation Rescue, are busy fighting each other. And because society cannot sustain itself, because it's all about unbridled hedonism, to do whatever feels good at the moment, and worry about the consequence later. If I had to choose between the two factions that I want to prevail, it would be the former, the mainstream medical establishment. Not because I support it, because I don't. Truth be told, I hate it as much as I hate career politicians and talentless celebrities. In fact, I consider people like Dr. Paul Offit and other medical doctors to be more dangerous than Jenny McCarthy or J.B. Handley. Because they're not looking for publicity. They're not looking for mutual gain. And worst of all, they're tied to politics. Like I said, that the medical establishment has a lot of its ties in politics, which is shameless. But the reason why I would rather support the mainstream medical establishment over cure-bee organizations like Defeat Autism Now and Generation Rescue is because I would rather die in a concentration camp or 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 in a battle instead of being used as a publicity tool, as a public relations tool by publicity-seeking idiots who only want money, like Jenny McCarthy, for instance. If you think that I'm fabricating a conspiracy theory out of whole cloth, you are mistaken. According to Oprah Winfrey, the CDC has labeled autism as a national health threat. According to Michelle Dawson, the Autism Society of Canada is constructing ghettos for autistic individuals and labels autistic individuals in dehumanizing terms. Such ethics reflect the actions that were taken by the Nazi Party or the National Socialist Party in the 1930s. It is safe to assume that the autism societies of other nations utilize similar protocols. After all, the world's most prominent autism medical organization, Autism Speaks, seeks to cure and prevent autism. If the mainstream medical establishment discovers the genetic factors that make a person autistic, there will be a silent holocaust of autistic individuals. The same thing happened to Down's children. Today, 90% of Down's fetuses are aborted simply because their parents wanted normal children. And there's no such thing as normal, except for hedonism, selfishness, arrogance, the list goes on. Everything God hates. That's normal today. I feel like a German Jew in 1932. End of part 1.